Hey everybody, so in this video we're going to talk about combining functions. So this is continuing to expand the way that we talk about using function notation. Okay, so this is about doing arithmetic operations, right? Add, subtract, multiply, and divide using functions. Okay, so you guys can see the four basic operations right here. Adding two functions, you just add the two functions together. Subtracting two functions, you would subtract them. This is f times g, where you multiply the two functions together. I think this is the one where the notation might be confusing because they're just written next to one another. But that's the same thing we do normally, it's just write two things next to each other to indicate multiplication. And then f over g, of course, is division. All right, so let's look at an example. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go through those four operations using these two functions. Okay, so first we're going to do addition. Okay, so for f plus g of x, we are just going to add our two functions together, f of x plus g of x. Okay, so our function f of x is here, so that's going to be x squared minus x minus 12 plus our function g of x, x minus 4. Okay, and then we're just going to add these two by combining like terms. So we'll have x squared, then we have negative x plus x, so those two will cancel, and we have minus 12 minus 4, or minus 16. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and look at subtraction f minus g. Okay, so we would have f of x minus g of x. Okay, and we're going to subtract our two functions. Okay, so f of x is x squared minus 12x, minus x minus 12. And then we're going to subtract x minus 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute my negative sign before I actually combine like terms. So I'll have x squared minus x minus 12. Okay, and then here I'll have minus x plus 4. Okay, and now I can combine my like terms. So I have minus x and minus x, which is minus 2x, negative 12 plus 4, which is minus 8. Okay. All right, let's see some multiplication. So again, I have f of x is x squared minus x minus 12. Okay. And g of x is x minus 4. Okay, so we're going to do multiplication f times g of x. Okay, so we would have f of x times g of x. Okay, and we're just going to distribute this out. So we'll have x times x squared is x cubed, minus x times x is minus x squared, minus 12x. Okay, then minus 4x squared plus 4x plus 48. Okay, and we'll go ahead and combine our like terms. So we have negative x squared minus 4x squared, which is minus 5x squared. Negative 12x plus 4x is negative 8x plus 48. Okay. And our last one is f over g of x. Okay. So we would have f of x divided by g of x. Okay, so for us that would be x squared minus x minus 12 over x minus 4. Okay, now this factors, so I'm going to try to simplify this by just factoring and canceling common factors. So what multiplies to 12 and adds to negative 1? It should be negative 4 and positive 3. Okay. So I can see that I do have a common factor of x minus 4, which I can cancel out. And this leaves me with my final answer, f over g of x is x plus 3. Okay. All right. That's really all there is to this section in terms of understanding the notation. You're just looking for what operation you're supposed to do, and then you just do that operation with those two functions. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more example. All right. So let's do a couple of things that are a little bit different from what we saw before. So we're going to go ahead and do 2f of x minus g of x. Okay, now this doesn't really use the notation that we saw in the previous example because of this 2, but we can go ahead and complete this operation, right? So we're going to have 2 times f of x minus g of x. Okay, so I'm going to multiply out my 2 to give me 8x squared minus 6x plus 24. And I'm going to distribute out my negative to give me negative 2x plus 1. Okay, so combining my like terms, I get 8x squared minus 8x plus 25. Okay, and let's do one more operation with these. I want to do f over g of x. Okay, so I know that this is going to be f of x over g of x. Okay, so in this example, that's 4x squared minus 3x plus 12, okay, over 2x minus 1. Okay, now this is what the notation asks you to do. You are probably really going to be asked to actually divide these two. Okay, so let's go ahead and divide them. We're going to divide 2x minus 1 into 4x squared minus 3x plus 12. Okay, so what do I multiply 2x by to get 4x squared? It's going to be 2x. So this gives me 4x squared minus 2x, and I'm subtracting them. Okay, oops. So 4x squared minus 4x squared is 0. Negative 3x minus negative 2x, or negative 3x plus 2x, is negative x plus 12. Okay, now what can I multiply 2x by to get negative x? Well, I'm going to need a negative sign. Okay, and if I have 2 and I want it to be 1, I'm going to need 1/2. Okay, now 1/2 times 2x, or negative 1/2 times 2x is negative x. Negative 1/2 times negative 1 is positive 1/2. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract them. So I have negative x minus negative x, which is 0, and I have 12 minus 1/2, which is going to be 11.5, or 23 halves. Okay, so remember that your answer can be written as the quotient, so 2x minus 1/2 plus the remainder over the divisor. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and put that here as my final answer. Okay, so my final answer would be 2x minus 1/2 plus the remainder over the divisor. Okay. All right. I hope that clears up any questions that you had about this notation, and I will see you guys soon.